what we're gonna do here is not so much a building, but a sculpture. We're gonna use the pieces, sculpt a skull. We got two tasks ahead of us. It is the outer shell that should look like something like a skull, and then the inner walls that can be shaped pretty much how you like it. The only rule is whatever you do on the inside, don't make it show on the outside, right? So we're gonna do the outside first. At least I'm gonna break it down to the facial part. There is a whole skull attached to the face, but it is as a shape fairly simple. Let's take a close-up look. Okay, so up close then, as you can see, it is not a flat surface. It has a lot of parts to it, but we're gonna break it down from primitive shapes to manageable, more complex shapes. Begin with, if we take a stylized skull Murray here, you can look at it as an egg shape fused with a cylindrical shape. As it is, has a nice curve to it. And Murray, yes, is still a very stylized skull. A skull doesn't really look like this. I mean, it takes all kinds of shortcuts. But that's okay. Here's a more classical, more anatomically correct skull. And it has a lot of shapes that Murray did have. But we're not gonna do those. We are going to use the knowledge of a skull and its proportion to make our own choices and make a stylized, cool cave skull. Because it's a cave and a skull, right? And it is in a pirate world. Okay, so let's walk on the tongue and into the mouth of the beast and see what's on the other side. And here it's quite populated right now. Dr. Galen and John are visiting Rosalinda, who is the resident alchemist of the Skull Cave. You see the face of the skull is very much visible from the inside as well, and you see these lovely lights streaming in from the eyes. And different times of day, this light streams in from this crevice that I purposefully left open. I will go into detail more later about reasonings why I did things like I did on the inside, but you can shadow and light play is a big part of it. You can see the shadow here in the front. It has the shapes.
Eventually.
Yes, Galen, that's fine. You see the dark shadow just in front of you? It has the shape of a skull as well. And these islands of light shine upon certain objects that tell a story and create a certain atmosphere. So it is all intentional. But let's get to building the sculpture first. Right. What building blocks did I use? As foundation, I used stone. And it is basically only good for foundation because it's way big, right? Just a tidbit, I had to sacrifice a lot of nice cliffs and cover them up by a flat surface inside here. The reason being pathfinding for the NPCs. They are very prone to simply stopping at any angle that might be, you see this angle? That might be the limit, really. If it's any taller, they might not traverse it. They will definitely not traverse stairs of any kind currently. So that was a necessity for people to be able to walk around. And up top, I have the ceiling, and it's flat because I cut off the head basically here. Didn't need that part, and I used a regular block of stone, and it actually fit everywhere without any additional support. So that I was very happy with. For the most part, I'm just using the regular stone wall. And for the I mean, you can angle, rotate it along the horizontal axis all you want, but the vertical axis is still straight up, right? And so you have that and this for flat surfaces. So to make an angle, it is basically down to the incline wall. So those were the things I used. You can see I shaped nostrils, well, nose cavity rather, and eyes using triangular stone shapes, like that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. But all of them are just stone. The only two exceptions to this is I used also, which is not necessarily necessary at all. You can be fine with what I just showed you, but I also used the semi-arc and the arc beam. You see them here in play to form, to shape the upper mouth, and I also place them elsewhere inside when I want a surface that is flat but not that thick. Right, so let's get to building this. Okay, so of course it will be a little different for you depending on the location again. I do not recommend you, I mean, you're free to, but simply placing it on the beach like this is pretty boring. I'm just using that for access while showing you how to make the skull front face. Basically eyes, nose, cavity, and mouth. But you need a cool location, and as you can see, that one is pretty spiffy. And where did I find it? I found it in the cove. And here it is. And all of this section is rocks. Here's where the lighthouse is. And then, of course, I have planned other projects on this main island. Right there is the lighthouse. Right there is the Troll Cave. So, what do we need to consider when it comes to a skull? Come on, Murray. Help us out here. There are, like I said, you can look at it like an egg stuck to a cylinder type deal to begin with. And it's the front of the cylinder that we're gonna focus on. How big is the skull? You have to decide the scale of things. And of course, the scale of things will determine how detailed it can be. So, one way to model a skull is by using the unit of an eyeball. To eyeball it. If you look at this skull, an eyeball fits inside this bucket. It's a little smaller bucket. Keep that in mind. And from these two outer cheekbones across, you can fit 5 eyeballs. So obviously you got 2 here, you got 1 in between, and then you got 1 on each side. Around 5. And then you have something that is skullish. Of course you can do something, but let's use that as a general guide. Likewise, from this point to that point is about 7 eyeballs. And the eyes are in the smack center of it. So 3 up, 3 down, right? And we can go into crazy details about anatomy, but I will refrain for now. So we need to figure out how big is an eyeball for us, because that determines the whole cave's size and what details we can make. What I chose was basically an eyeball is not 1, not 2, but 3 box. This is basically an eyeball. Let's frame it. We can play with it. Give it some more. Playroom. Give ourselves some light as well. It's getting dark here. Put that behind for a reason. Okay. So what did I say? I said 3, right? So we start here. Now if you look at the shape of the eye sockets on Murray here, it looks pretty squarish. It has a bit of a triangle infill by the nose, and that's it. Some slants, but nothing that would really register here. A more accurate depiction is, it kind of looks sad, right? It's on a slant. So let's see what we can do. It also, you can just go ahead and do a comic book, like surprised skull face expression, you know. It depends on what you're after. So let's just make something here. I'm gonna stick to a more regular shape, just to show you how you can use these pieces together. So now we're gonna fill in a little bit. And I'm thinking, well, let's start with simple bits, maybe. We do like Murray here. Like so. And a sad slant could be to make this, but it is a bit too symmetrical for me. So maybe I make it super sad. Maybe I actually, the socket is a little bigger, remember? Oh. Could do that, and now it has sort of that sad slant. Okay. Maybe we want to it's a bit abrupt, this corner. Not sure what to do about that. Could try this. Not too keen on it. Let's keep it. Let's keep it like that. Or should we? Let's keep it. All right. So we got the outer rim sorted. Now we need to give it depth. So otherwise, when we look through this, there's very little light catching from the source on the edges, and it does look like a thin shell. And skull socket is a deep hole. You want that feel. You look at it from the outside. How do you go about doing that then? Well, you go on the inside. Of course, I'm cheating a little bit here because this whole thing is a flat surface. It's a bit harder, actually. I mean, it has a curve to it on the outer edge. But I figured I would start simple. We'll see how this goes. So we need to fill in the back to give it some kind of depth. And we have this fine wall to play with. And here is where this will work. Let's see. I need to have 15 degrees rotations, and snapping will be on and off as I see fit. The snapping off right now, it's just floating. So snapping off, I can really push it close, and there you go. Good enough. Could even. This is of course not a perfect match, but it's close enough to give it. Should we do the same here then? Maybe. There we go. Okay, cool. And then we have the blocks, of course, to fill in the bottom. Or you could go with the arc beam. I'm just staying with these for now. And this one is fairly simple then. And even have snapping on, have it tight. So just look at it now. Already, you see the difference? I will probably go even one further in. Possibly even, if I could, angle it a little bit. And this is where it gets messy. How do you angle it? Put one there. Then we angle it a little to snapping off. They will fight me, of course it will. Put one there, and we can use that as support. Then we can remove the middle. Boom. There you go. Same thing here. Yeah. Oh, this one behaved a little better. There we go. Alright, alright, alright. Something we're actually here we could start giving it forgetting what it is. There it is. Give it a bit of an angle here as well. The socket is for a round thing. Alright. There we go. Take a look. We see, oh no, there are holes fill them in. So they look better. How do we do that? Well, snapping off again. That might not take care of the piggy just yet. And use V for different camera angles, depending on what serves you. Actually, let's bombard it with a bit of wall here. Stuck. I got stuck in the eye. Alright. Cool. Of course, here I see something that we need to fill in as well. So you see, it is a move around, check stuff. Of course, now I could also start thinking about the inside. I mean, the outside is starting, okay, this is what I want, right? And I could put a cool light here, and it will show off the eye from a distance, all these walls here. Then the inside of the cave, like, okay, you could live with this, or you could do something about it. There are different ways of doing that, of course. What I usually do is I do snapping off on the first, and then I let that one guide the rest. And maybe here I want to start to angle in. Maybe even more. And layer upon layer. Don't be afraid to use them. Because this is, think of it like adding and removing clay. Right? Till you got a nice, like that. Then you just continue. And you use, of course, in these parts, you have, again, the triangle shapes that can help you out a bit. Snap off. A little angle. There you go. Oh, this one fought me all the way, didn't it? Easier with snapping on. Now, if it is difficult, use another piece. Just stick it there in the vicinity and use that as a guide. Yeah. Alright, here we go. No, not quite. Not that angle. Like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna use it, but it will help me place this one. Hopefully, better. Now, snapping off behaves a little better. And once I set it there, I just remove this. Right? So, think about that if it fights you. Just create temporary support. Same dealio here, apparently. Goes crazy trying to figure out where to put things. Tries to help you even if snapping. Now snapping on. Alright, now snapping off. Snap off again, come on. And oh. A different angle. Nope. Here we go. Alright, that's good enough. Move the supports. Alright, and then from here you can fill in at an angle very huge. Need a little bit more angle. So you see, I add and I remove, and eventually you get a nice inner wall. You get the idea. So eventually everything is filled in, and you have this cool eyeball. Right, as you expect, the nasal cavity is done in a similar way. Now, if you look at this region here, it is further out than the ice. Even though we don't have the actual nose here, it is a little bit further out. Alright. Murray is less, it is more like an arrowhead. So it's all up to you. Let's make one. Let's make it right here. And keep in mind, let's keep in mind that it sits on the cylinder right above the mouth. So, worth noting that the jawbone is about 2 eyeballs wide. So, we went for 3-ish as an eyeball, so that would mean 6 then. But if we want a little more girth to your skull, maybe 7. So we're gonna use this as an opening to walk inside anyway. And the whole head as a height was about 7 eyeballs, and the eyes sitting here in the middle, which means from here to here is about 3, which gives about 2 for the entire mouth and the bottom of the nose cavity. So that is 6, 7-ish. About here ish. Now it's not flat, so we are going to angle it a bit on both sides. Something like that. Alright. Cool. Don't need these anymore. We should go ahead and fill out the rest. Less cluttering. I do an angle wrong here. Check your angles. Yeah, you're gonna need a bit of stone. What you're also gonna need is a bit of wood for scaffolding, because this will might be in an inconvenient place like this cliff side, and have you fall into the water and drown over and over and over. So you need some places where you can survey and uh, access the whole build, both on the inside and the outside. And I built scaffolding all around and many levels up. That I then later, of course, removed. So scaffolding is your friend. With that said, let's avoid this by placing. Hold on. Rebuilt. Give us a pier, will you? Alright. That helps. Okay, cool. Right. So I jumped to the mouth. And we'll take care of the nostril after that, I guess. I hope you don't mind. Oh. About... could even go this wide. And we certainly need... I mean, you can shape it as you want. Cartoony or whatever. Let's say we go full on. That's a big old mouth. Same principles as with the eye, as with the cavity. You need to create some depth. With the mouth, you're actually gonna have that as an entrance, so depth will be a practical necessity. So what I did was over there, I used, once I put out the outline, I used the stone arch here with some, you don't need it. You can perfectly do it. As a matter of fact, I would probably do it this way if I redid it. So once you have created an outline, it's very easy and convenient to stick other pieces to it, like the foundation. Just fill it in. Just make sure it doesn't poke out too much. Yeah. Don't break the rule like I did there. Be difficult, then snap off and push it close. And if the height is troubling you, maybe we can use the Z. It's being very difficult. Well, that was close. That's good enough. Cool. So now we have some depth, and of course this will continue on from here, side, however you want to shape the inside of the skull. Me, I had the stairs up, right, because that's how the cliff was. I don't know how your particular situation will be like. But I do know we also need a roof of the mouth, and we might as well use these. Keep it simple. And here is where scaffolding becomes your friend, because now I can't quite see what I'm doing. Starting to get difficult. Did I really fill them in proper? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Good enough. Fine. Oops. That was not fine. There we go. Okay. And of course then we can fill these in. snap off, just stick it there, snap back on. You can use that as a guide, and layer by layer. This is how I did the ceiling, by the way. I had the outline. I put the first stones flush against it, angled and so on, and then I placed some others and just did like this until it was all filled. There we have it, sort of. Of course, now I feel very. I need to fill in these now. All right, that works the same way. All right, something like that. And of course, since we did that, we might as well continue. We have a good wall. There we go. So you can do both ways, as you can see here. Don't worry about it. But yeah, planning ahead to a degree is good. And making these outlines for the walls help a lot as guides. The rest of the work comes afterwards. Now I'm just throwing stuff. I don't care that it's not accurate. All right. I'm going. This is not how far well, a little bit, almost. This is how far the mouth goes. It's cylinder onto the imagined egg shape up here, and then you have the jawbone coming here, starting here, going up. Oh, and here you have the big bone and the eyes up the nose, mouth. But we're doing the mouth, and look, I screwed up. The horror, the horror, the horror. Was the wrong angle? Alright, never mind. I see the beach is slanting, so I will start burying stone in it. I don't want to do that. Again, here, the environment will likely fight you a lot. It certainly did when I made that one. But what to do then with the mouth? You got the base shape now, and it has its floor and it has its ceiling. Okay, cool. I don't know. I used this little ramp to make the on-ramp. And how thick the tongue you want, I don't know. I had just a single one, but it could be a big old tongue. And then you walk in, and you continue, walk up here maybe. Who knows? Anyway, so that's your opening, that's your door. And of course, depending on how thick your tongue is, let's make it tongue. It's like a serpent tongue. Small, with room for a lot of teeth. And of course, I was lazy here. I just went, here are the gums, right? Cool. Something like that, and then I went, oh, I can't now because it's too narrow. All right, I guess I'll have to snap off and place them a little. Oh, how about that? Get a nice angle to it, like so, maybe. Yeah, now we can walk. Does it look good though from a distance? It looks okay. That's pretty much what I did over there. And I did the same up here. And that might be cool and good enough for you. Or you might go, no, I don't want those boring teeth. Besides, it's a gap here. I want, where's the canines? I want canines. Okay, so canines. I don't know. Should we really indulge you in that crap? Alright, let's do it then. Canines it is. This doesn't look. It's, we're doing something here first. So, different ways of doing that. Could use this weird piece. But it's kind of wrongly angled, isn't it? It will bite itself unless we build something that juts out a bit. Let's see how that works. Let's add some let's reshape the mouth a bit. That might be a bit much, but we'll try. Napping on, huh? Push it in. Push it in. Do it. No, doesn't want to. Okay, I'm gonna use wall pieces and start fleshing it out a bit. Snap on. Thank you. Something like that, maybe? Maybe even more. Probably even more. Start from snap off. I know they're not perfectly aligned, I don't care. Can always fix that, and always imperfections looks kinda cool as well. I don't want it too tidy. It is a natural formation, sort of, after all. Nature is messy. So, now we have something more to stick feet on. Still being a bit of a knucklehead. Not overly happy with that. Oops. But here, not overly impressed at all, actually. How will it? No, it needs to come out way more, actually. Somewhere around here. For it to look proper, but it needs to come down a bit. So snapping on help me now? Yeah, it did. Ah, here we go. Remove this one. Not really placed where I want it though. So, not here. Please go. And of course then find a way to replicate this side. Build out some flesh. Look at it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Okay, I'll buy that. And of course we have the issue of filling these in on the inside. You could use a bunch of triangles trying to do that, or here's another tip: keep it in shadow, like this. You hardly notice anything. You don't have to. So be mindful of how you place light and shadow. It will hide or flatten form. Too much light will make anything look flat, or obviously too little, and you won't see. Use those two to your advantage, and also if you have little islands, light, that's where your attention will go. I'm just approaching this from a perspective of cinematography, photography, art in general, like steer the attention of the viewer. Use little tricks like that. Composition and light and shadow is part of it. But anyway, so you have the eye sockets, right? Of course, can't quite use it because you need to make it a little, just a tiny bit. Let's look at it. Look at where is it there? When you build the eyebrow bone, let's call it that, it is the egg shape of the skull goes into your socket area, and the socket area is kind of like the egg shape is wearing glasses, sunglasses. And you can see that comment here. Bone. And of course here. And it is not perfectly straight, as you can see. From here, maybe it is at an angle, and so let's try to. This needs to come out a bit, basically. And how much it needs to come out? I mean, the nose bit. It's gonna be all the way out, even more maybe. You have to try out different angles for this, and you will run into the problem with angles again. You might need dang it, there it is. This guy, unfortunately, that, what is it, 64 degrees? That's what we have to play with. So, that and straight. So we do what we can, and try to make a nice fusion between the two. Of course, there is an indentation, quite a big indentation. So, unless you want a different style, of course, then you do that. But about here is where the nose cavity starts. And then down, and beneath it you have the mouth. So it's like putting pieces of the puzzle together, and you need to see how they do that. And here it goes in and then out and in again. This was very exaggerated by me just to make that point. But exaggeration is also your friend, because the deeper the grooves you make, the more shadow collects in those grooves, like you see here. And that means they read better at a distance. If you only have, well, yeah, I only want this much. Oh, that wasn't too bad actually. Make this example. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, then you only have this kind of shadow. Whereas here you have a much larger, deeper, visible shadow. And shadows tell you uh, what shape things are. So that's why in sculpture sometimes you might notice that certain grooves and indentations are way deeper than they are in actuality. Like maybe a sculpture has a deep cut here to show off a wrinkle. And the reason why they do this is for it to read at a distance. They are quite aware that humans don't actually look like that. But it all is about making it look like you want from a certain vantage. So that's what you're doing. You want it to read from a distance, and you see I have plenty of depth difference here to make the chin bone. Even have here where I wanted an indentation in the skull to show that it bevels, and so on. And then of course you need to make it look good really up close. And of course, woo, you need the inside to look good too. But that's a separate issue, right? Focus on the outside first and make sure you can traverse into the skull. Once inside, the only rule is don't break the outside. Right? Don't make a piece from the inside stick out and become visible on the outside. Other than that, you do as you please and use light and shadow at your advantage. So what about that nostril then? Okay, let's make an inaccurately placed nostril. Let's pretend that this is here. Or we're making a non-human. That's okay too. Like a bat or something. Give me ideas. Alright, so that works for the upper. Make it a little flat here. Everything just a tad. Oops, too much. A little more. It sticks wrong. Here's where scaffolding becomes more and more a necessity. But okay. That's fine. We are probably gonna need some support. Come on. Use this for now. Then we add public. Stick it in there. That's one big nose. But let's go with a big nose. Alright. So this is, as you notice, it is not a how to step by step to exactly get something. You make decisions constantly, depending on what style you want, you know? Nothing is wrong here, just your expression. That's the lovely. Alright, that's one shape. Sure. Let's round it off a little bit. I'm not sure this is the correct one. We'll try. Alright. Done. go with the one. Ooh, that's difficult. It will stick out, so I'll use snapping. Oh well. Okay. What did we do up top then? Are we using these? Can we use these? No, we can't. We could possibly pick one of these. No? That served as a tooth before, and now it can serve as the upper bit of a nose bone. Yeah. Okay. But now, yeah, no, it actually looks pretty good. So now we just have to. We're gonna use a long. There we go. Oh, I forget. I keep forgetting that we only have that one as an angle, right? So if we want angled, then we have to use this. This might not work at all. Let's see. Come on. Oh. I'm gonna need this horrible mess. And that might be okay too. Fill it in, see what happens. Push it in there. Boom. It's ending up where it should be. You notice? Okay, so we got that. Now we need to build the bottom again. And that is okay. We can easily curve these. Make something. How curved do we want it? Not sure yet. It's giving me off then. Different angle might help. Back on. Okay, that did help. Not quite. Not quite. It's fighting. I'm not overly impressed yet. Oh, that's too much. Bit by bit, layer by layer, we get something that we could work with. Ooh. Make it go up. There we go. That's alright. Cool. Very, very just a triangle, though. And you might want a bigger nostril than that. And okay, we'll see what we can do. I don't have much space for it right here. And that might be an issue you run into as well. Oh man, I ran out of space. There is something in the way. You just have to make the best out of it. Okay, that's bigger. Remove some pieces we don't need anymore. Still looks pretty good. Okay, so let's give it... there we go. Layer by layer, add and remove until you get a nice shape. It is doable. It just takes some will of experimentation. This is probably way too long. I'm gonna give it a try. We make just stand out a little bit. Maybe. Might be too much. By he is fighting me though. But no. Okay, so if it is fighting me, just add some other support for the meantime. So it has something to snap onto that you would like this. Okay, now back to the difficult piece. Snap off, but now it has some more support. Or did I confuse it even further? I have done that. Here we go. No, not really. Here we are. You can do it. You can do it. Alright, remove that temporary support. Alright, I'm looking at the negative space, the stuff we didn't fill in, right? That's the nostril, nose cavity. That's what you want to look okay. Then take care of the other stuff so it doesn't have ugly seams screaming at you in the night. Fill me in. Let's see what we can do about it. No, I need to start angling it. There we go. So I keep alternating between snapping on and off. I keep adding support pieces and removing them until I can get the shape where I want it. And now you might go, well, I need this top bone to actually go out further. Well, okay, that's fine. We have the support, so we can just add more. There you go. That look better for you? Did it work? Yeah, that looks better. Okay. And then we fill in the seams. And then we go look. Oh yeah. Like the good old nose. It's sticking out too much. Oh, okay. Oh, that's too bad. I'm gonna have to erase it. Start from the beginning. Blah blah blah. Don't be afraid to experiment. Just play. Just play. You're back in the sandbox. You're literally in a pirate sandbox. So do as you please. Enjoy. And this works too, you know? Alright. So that was the eye. Nose cavity, the mouth. You have other pieces, of course, that you need to consider. Tie them together. You have the jawbone jutting into the cheekbone that wraps under the eye, both over and under and to the side. Here's the ear canal. I almost jumped into the anatomical well of talk forever. Ooh, that was close. Right. So those are the outsides, and of course, then you go, the inside. It looks horrible, man. I told you. Those are two separate issues, and now you already know how to shape something really nice on the outside. No problem doing it on the inside. It's probably going to be way simpler. You only need to adhere to one rule. Don't make it poke out on the outside. You're good. Okay, now with all the knowledge we have from those pieces, look at this a bit more up close. You will see disastrous mistakes that still work. I just threw pasta on the wall to see what's stuck. Figuring out how to use these pieces to make something organic. It is not symmetrical. You can see that. Of course, the perspective and angle of the camera will also trick you. So, if you stay up close too far, you will miss things. Look at it from all kinds of angles continuously. Shift between left and right when you work. Don't worry about symmetry too much. Close enough is close enough. And any actual skull and face has a degree of asymmetry to it. The only perfect symmetrical face is that of an artificial construct, an android, basically. Humans have two parts to them that fuse together, basically. Right. Yeah, you see, I went rude and crude and just smashed these regular stone blocks to make a thick jaw. And I had an angled incline of a rock face to be able to traverse. So I had to build it this way. And later I framed it so that you don't see much from the outside until you're starting to get into it. I made like a shape of the back of the throat. And here we come on the inside
Careful
again.
now. Health before haste.
Yeah, yes. That's right. Pace yourself. We'll go nuts. I didn't even finish this. I just threw some blocks around openings here at the eyes to make the depth, because that was a last check and I wasn't pleased with it, and I realized, oh, I never gave it depth. It is a socket, not a flat. A thin eggshell, it is a deep socket. So I added these pieces and I didn't do it proper either. So you can always improve on things. Now the nose cavity is more of an alcove now where you can do your alchemy stuff. That's all good, and I mean the eye sockets became elves. And we look up and we see the natural cliffs fused with the inside of Skull. And I kept that fairly similar to the outside. I evened it out so it would look like not too a scraggly wall, but I also paid attention to already existing boulders and made the walls fuse with them in a nice way. So it all depends on your location. Location. Really nice one. You can tell your tale. High seas piracy. Whatever it is. Your shenanigans or goings-ons in this skull cave of yours. I'd love to see it. So if you make one, please let me know. I'll check it out. Be more than happy to. I hope you like this effort I put in trying to convey how you can use these pieces to more than strict architectural builds. You can actually create all kinds of organic things. So if you did like it, I would appreciate you liking it. And if you subscribe, well, then you get the beneficial boon. I don't know if it's a benefit really, but you can, if you choose, and then talk to me while I'm live streaming. So hit that bell as well, so you don't miss out on those. Right. Also, the build of the lighthouse, I will link in this video. So you got both. That is a very simple but functional building that fits well in this world. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much.